What's good, y'all? It's Mr. Love,
And I am Mr. Allmond.
and we are back with y'all with another video. So we're gonna go through some questions for y'all and talk through strategies and approaches and how to use Desmos too, because Desmos is an invaluable tool you can use on these. Yeah, let's just give these a go. You ready, bro?
Okay, yeah, let's do it. We got five piece.
Five piece.
Okay, we won't take too much of your time. Number one, let's just get right into it.
All
So,
right.
a graph of a line in the XY plane passes through the point 1, comma 4 and crosses the x-axis at the point 2, comma 0. The line crosses the y-axis at 0, comma b. What is b?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think what's most important to talk about is like the strategy, especially like what we first see. Like when I first read this question for the very first time, they want to know the y-intercept, and I also noticed that they gave us 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, with 2 points, I can find the slope, and if I know the point, I can get the equation of the line point slope form.
Mm-hmm.
If I have the equation of the line in point slope form, I can just let x be 0, and then whatever y is, that's b.
Right.
So that's one approach you could take. What else? What else could I do instead?
I know that a lot of my students, at least the students I taught in Algebra 1 this summer, would probably write the equation. They'll find the slope for sure
Mm-hmm.
first, write the equation for the line in slope intercept form, and
Mm,
just use one of the points to plug into the equation to solve for B.
mm-hmm. Okay.
So
Yeah.
we can
Yeah.
do that route too. I know we teach calculus, so we default to
Yeah.
form.
I default to point slope form, but yeah, that works because y equals mx plus b. You know mx and y.
Right.
So yeah.
Let's first find M. So we have it doesn't really matter which is which. I'll label x1, y1, x2, y2.
Mm-hmm.
So slope is going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So based on what I've labeled, 0 minus 4 over 2 minus 1, which comes out to negative 4.
Okay.
So then now my equation in slope intercept form is y equals mx plus b. And we know m is negative 4.
Mm-hmm.
And so now, since we have 2 points, we can plug either point into the equation to solve for
Pick
b,
one.
right? So
Which
I'm going
point
to
are you
use
picking?
0 because 0 is a nice number.
Make it easy.
Yeah, so I'm going to use the point 2, 0. I'll plug in 2 for x and 0 for y.
Okay.
So 0 equals negative 8 plus b.
Mm-hmm.
And then isolate b, we add 8 to both sides, so b is 8,
Nice.
which is the question. So we're done.
Yeah. What is b?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, some people will see it point slope. Some people know y equals mx plus b. Some people are just gonna try to go straight to Desmos and hope that they can use that to finesse. So if that's
Right.
you, I'm gonna show you. I can show you how you would do that. So regression, regression is gonna be like a top 5 tool on Desmos. If you haven't found out yet, yeah. So there's different ways you can use it, but if I was doing this with Desmos, I would just know the fact that they gave us 2 points. That's all the information I need to come up with the equation of a line. And
Mm-hmm.
Desmos can come up with that equation and graph it for me too. So to do that, what you would do is just go to plus and then add a table. But once you have your points or your table, there's this little icon that says add regression, and it says a graph of a line, so you know it's linear. So just
Right.
make sure linear regression is selected, and it literally graphs and gives you the equation.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So you can literally just see that the y-intercept is 8.
Yo, if we had
So,
this when we took the SAT,
bro, man.
that's a
Okay.
nice, calm warm up question.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's go number two. So number two, we
Okay.
try to give y'all a mix of like algebra and geometry, a little variety. Segment AD intersects segment BE at C. If x equals 100, what is the value of y?
If x is 100, what is y? All right. So clearly, the only information you're given is numbers that represent angles.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So off rip, we should be thinking that something adds up to 180. All right. I'm just
Right.
thinking like strategy here. And if our goal is to get y, we need at least 2 angles, right? To know that that third angle would make it add up to 180. So
Right.
that angle ECD, we need to figure out what that angle is. I'll hand it off. I feel like I accidentally took over that problem because you was definitely about to take it away.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. We're kind of tag teaming, so
Yeah, yeah, tag.
yeah. So I mean, we know that that angle ECD or DCE, however you want to look at it,
Mm-hmm.
it is vertical to the angle across from it in the other triangle. So angle BCA, which I can mark here. Wakanda forever. The blue and the red here are going to be the same measure.
Mm-hmm.
And if we know that X is 100, that's 120. I have 60 left to spin. So that means that my blue angle is 60 degrees, which means that my red angle is also 60 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
So 60 plus 40 is 100. I know the whole triangle is 180, so that means that Y must be, so yeah, Y is 80 degrees.
Okay,
Cool.
problem 3. In the rectangle ABDF above, C and E are midpoints of side BD and DF respectively. What fraction of the area of the rectangle is shaded? Different ways to approach, I feel like. My instinct was to just come up with numbers for each of these segments and try to figure it out that way. That's what I'm going to do. What about you?
I noticed, I was like, oh, wait, I can actually break this up and use symmetry.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to sketch in a different color here. I know that if I break this up, since C is the midpoint of segment BD,
Mm-hmm.
if I break the rectangle up at C, that cuts it into two congruent rectangles, um,
Mm-hmm.
either side. So this right triangle here on the left that I'm shading in represents 1/4 of the entire rectangle because it's half of the left half.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be 1/2. And I know that E is the midpoint of DF. So I can
Mm-hmm.
break up and make a segment at E,
Half of a half.
half of a half, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know that this bottom rectangle here, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
is half of a half, right? Half of the
Mm-hmm.
right half. This is also a quarter.
Mm-hmm. And I can see it as like a quadrant too.
Right, right.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say the right triangle should be a quarter, not a half? It should be a quarter of the whole rectangle,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that means that this upper right triangle, half of that half.
Mm-hmm.
So it's half of the quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an eighth. So really what I'm doing, I'm just adding up all these parts. I have a quarter plus an eighth. And that's really my answer. Because that's the portion of the rectangle that's shaded.
Right.
So we do 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/8. I mean, you can put it in Desmos if you want to. But I mean, this is easy fractions, right? We got 2
Mm-hmm.
eighths. I mean, I hope. Plus 2 eighths. We end up getting 5 eighths of the circle. Or I'm sorry, of the rectangle is shaded.
Okay.
So you're breaking it up.
Mm-hmm.
Triangle and a trapezoid. You're going to flex your geometry skills and knowledge of areas of shapes.
That's how I saw it, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but and then the thing about it is, like, yes, you want to pick the quickest way, but I feel like, in my opinion, the quickest way is different for different people.
Absolutely.
You know, like my quickest way, I might have spent like a lot longer doing it your way. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
So, like you said, comfort matters. Like
Absolutely.
knowing where you stand.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You know.
That's the beauty of these problems too. I feel like a lot of these problems can be approached from different angles, no pun intended. So, like, find the approach that works for you and go
Mm-hmm.
with that.
Yeah.
So, yep, 50 over 80 or 5 eighths.
Mm-hmm. All right, number 4.
We have
System of equations off rip.
equations.
Yeah.
I know my
So.
Algebra 1 students this summer definitely, we spam systems, so
Mm-hmm.
they
Okay.
definitely know about those.
Okay.
It says for each real number r, which of the following points lies on the graph of each equation in the xy plane for the given system? All right, so I have 2x plus 3y equals 7 and 10x plus 15y equals 35. Now, what's different about this system is that both equations are given in standard form. So as opposed to like slope-intercept form or point-slope form, another form of a line is standard form. So that's when you have all your variables on one side of the equation. So
Mm-hmm.
ax plus by equals c. So sometimes they'll give you systems in that form.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that I notice is that if I take my top equation and multiply by 5.
Mm-hmm.
I
Same
get
thing
the
on
y.
bottom.
And so my students from Algebra 1 over the summer know that means that these two equations represent the same line.
Mm-hmm. They're stacked. If you want to,
Right.
for the Desmos demons out there.
Desmos demon. Yeah, so I mean, I guess you can do this with Desmos too. You could just graph this in Desmos and see they're the same line.
Mm-hmm.
But then the question though says like, which of the following points lies on the graph? And all of our points are given in terms of R.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's gonna mess people up because you throwing in a whole new variable.
right, right.
Yeah.
Um, when I first did this one, I put it in slope intercept form,
Mm-hmm.
um, and just tried to rule out answer choices, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like, to my knowledge, I feel like just using the answer choices is like the clear best way to do it.
Yeah.
Because you can obviously only one of them is gonna fit, X and Y.
Right.
So, but you did what? Obviously, I'm assuming you took the top equation because the numbers are smaller. And you just got Y by itself, and then just tested all the answer choices.
Yeah. So I guess probably put this in slope intercept form. So we have 2x plus 3y equals 7.
Mm-hmm.
So if I subtract 2x from both sides, I get 3y equals negative 2x plus 7. Hopefully, y'all are good with me just writing that next line. I don't gotta.
Yeah.
This thing keeps tweaking out.
Yeah, I see it.
All right, then divide by 3 on both sides. So y equals negative 2/3 x plus 7/3. So to get the y coordinate, you take the x coordinate, multiply by negative 2/3, and add 7/3 to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think of that as like it giving you instructions as to how to find the y coordinate.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so like my brain went immediately to choice C and D. Because I was like, okay, well, since the x coordinate R, the y coordinate should just be, negative 2/3 R plus 7/3.
Mm-hmm.
But I noticed that neither of those is the case.
Mm-hmm.
So
Cross both of them out.
C and D are out. But then I don't know, my brain just went to choice B because now I noticed that in B, R is the y coordinate.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, what if since it's swapped?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bro, I respect College Board for the answer choices because C and D, you can get either one of those if you make a little mistake getting Y by itself.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So if people are rushing, I can see somebody making a mistake and getting C or D.
Those are good distract. That's a good point. Those are good distractor answers.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah, but like, if your algebra is tight, you can rule out C and D.
Mm-hmm.
But then I guess, my brain, I noticed that, in choice B, R is the y coordinate. And so since everything is swapped now, maybe we can solve for X and see how to get Y.
Mm-hmm.
So if I take this equation that I had, I'll use a different color. Let me use purple. And I solve this equation now for X. So X equals negative 3/2 Y plus 7/2.
Mm-hmm. So what is Y?
Right. Mm-hmm. What is Y? Well,
Y is R.
Right? And so if Y is R, the X should just be negative 3/2 R plus 7/2, which is exactly what B is.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go here with B. I don't even need to check A. I'm good.
Right.
I don't know if there's another way you could do it. I guess you could try to use Desmos.
Yeah, let's try it. Yeah. Let's try it. Because I know somebody out there is going to look at this question, see systems, and be like, oh, Desmos. My tutor told me that Desmos can solve any systems question. So if we go Desmos, hopefully we know that both of those equations is the same line, so no need to type them both. And then, so we have a line, and then our answer choices are just points in terms of R. So we have to know that these points should lie on the line no matter what R is. So once you type in R in the Desmos, obviously it's going to pop up a slider. It shouldn't matter what R is set for. Because does it say, it says R is a real number. So you would just go through all the answer choices. Like if I try to answer choice A and then create a slider out of R. Yeah, so no matter what R is, it should lie on the line always. we took it this far, we might as well show you what the right answer looks like. All right, so no matter what R is, that point is going to remain on the line. So that's how we know it's correct. For the Desmos heads out there you go.
Desmos Demon is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm going to steal that.
That's what they be, man. But all right, what are we on now? Number 5?
Yep, it's our last one for this
finale. Okay, yeah. Okay, so for this one, let's see. A circle in the XY plane has its center at -1, 1. Line T is tangent to this circle at the point 5, -4. Which of the following points is also on that tangent line T? Okay, so tangent line, whenever you're talking about a line, I'm always thinking the equation of a line, in which most or all cases we need to know the slope, right? When I did this problem at first, I did it on Desmos, but I feel like it would probably be quicker and more feasible if we were to just kind of sketch what's going on, in my opinion. So let me try to do that real quick, just so we can kind of envision what's happening. So we know the center is at -1, 1. And then a point of tangency is 5, -4. So we're going to the right and we're going down. So let's just say it's right here. Tangent line. So let me just sketch that real quick. Doesn't got to be perfect, but which of those points is also on the line? So after looking at this, I'm thinking if we know the equation of that blue tangent line, then we're good. So we just need to figure out how to get the equation of a line. I already obviously have a point. So the only other thing I need is to figure out the slope of that line. I feel like that's a valid tag team moment right there.
But yeah, so I think the key point here is knowing that since we need the equation of the line, we need the slope of the line. But we have to know that the slope of a tangent line to a circle perpendicular to the radius of the circle.
That's what it comes down to.
All tangent lines are perpendicular to the circle and the radius segment at the point of tangency. All we gotta do is just find the slope of the radius segment, and then perpendicular lines have negative reciprocal slopes.
I know the point. I'm gonna graph that point in Desmos, and then that'll be quick and easy for me to figure out what point lies on that line.
So we're doing that. I got my slope is -5, 6. Negative reciprocal, so I just flip it and then multiply by -1, so 6/5.
Okay. So point slope form is y minus y1. So minus -4 is +4 equals m parentheses x minus 5.
So there's the point, the 5, -4, the point's on the line, not the center of the circle.
Oh yeah, true. So there's my tangent line, and then I'm just gonna look at the answer choices and see which point lies on the line. 4, 7, no. 0, 6/5, no. 10, 2, yes, I see it. 10, 2 is on the line. 11, 1 is not on the line, so I'll go C. Comment and let us know, like, if you're struggling with a particular type of problem, or if you found an example that you want to see. Let us know. We be reading the comments, man.
We do.
At least I do. Do you be reading them?
I be reading them.
Okay, bet.
Because people be putting them in here.
Yeah. Okay, bet. So yeah, be on the lookout for numbers 6 through 10. But like I said, comment your thoughts, any questions you had.
Continue to spam the
question banks.
Question banks, all of that. And we see y'all in the next video.
All right, sounds good. Catch y'all.